In political terms, what these authors are describing is the victory of the counter-revolution in Ireland. This established a conservative confessional state in the 26 counties. Again, to quote Terence Brown, the conservatism of Irish society in the 1920s lacked any great positive passion. No architectural splendours can be pointed to as expressions of a confident, assertive self-regard in a society persuaded of its own newly independent traditional strengths. Rather, a petty bourgeois state expressing the prudent and inhibiting values of farm and shop, whilst the opportunities implicit in that independence, so eagerly sought, went a-begging in a fairly general acquiescence in comfortably provincial modes of social life and art. Sadly, this newly independent state seemed quite incapable of breaking free from the thraldom of colonial dependency. In creating its own institutions, the new state simply aped its former colonial masters. The Irish Parliament, both in form and content, copied the Westminster model, and the judges and lawyers of the new state wore wigs and gowns just like their counterparts in England. Someone once observed that our institutions fit us rather like a man with a second-hand suit. He recognises that it has been tailored for someone else, and that it doesn't fit properly, but nonetheless seems quite prepared to put up with it. Tragically, we continued as we began, to the extent that in 1972, the writer Sean O'Toole felt compelled to write the following. One is only to think for a brief moment of the various aspects of Irish life today, to realise that as a people we have few ideas of our own, that our model in most cases is still the English or sometimes American model. In business, science, engineering, architecture, medicine, industry, law, homemaking, agriculture, education, politics and administration, from economic planning to PAYE, from town planning to traffic laws, the vast bulk of our thinking is derivative. The fascinating thing, I believe, about this conservative state is that even though its actions and activities over the years have always represented the antithesis of the ambitions contained within the 1916 proclamation and the democratic programme of the First Dáil, all Irish politicians and governments have continually felt obliged to pay lip service to these very ideals. We all know of the annual trips to Bodenstown by the Soldiers of Destiny paying homage to Wolfe Tone. Over the decades, Ardeshna pledging the restoration of the Irish language and the unification of the country. Every Easter, trips to Arbor Hill paying homage to our patriot dead. And even those with shirts a paler shade of blue travelling to Ballagh and Ballagh to again extol the merits of earlier patriots. I could go on, but it seems to me a legacy of hypocrisy and cant. Although I am tempted to give you one more example. This appeared in an article recently. The idea of the Republic is one that fills me with a sense of responsibility and hope. The idea that the state belongs to no one because it belongs to everyone is the key. That message has been lost because the government has ruled for the few and ignored the many. Today, more than ever, we need an invigorated republic. Ireland needs a government that is on the side of the people. Ireland needs a government that is not afraid of new ideas and that is willing to embrace change. Who said that? Enda Kenny. Enda Kenny, the leader of a party that since the foundation of the state has resisted any kind of change. So I think we can deduce that all of these politicians are very good at lip service and very poor at delivering the ambitious ideals that were encapsulated in those documents that we've been discussing today. Let's face it, for the crisis we find ourselves in today, we need more than lip service to those progressive ideas. We need to see the implementation of the values that are contained in those documents. Now, those of you who know me may find this very strange, but I'm going to quote Milton Friedman. Now, Milton Friedman is the economist who actually created the economic model that led us to the catastrophic situation of us, the world, finds itself in today. But Milton Friedman said something that I think is very important, and I think we need to take cognizance of. He said that only as a consequence of a crisis can radical change occur. And he said, the direction of that change is determined by the ideas that are dominant at the time of that crisis. I believe that's really important. And not only right-wing fascists who follow Milton Friedman, like Margaret Thatcher or Pinochet or others, shouldn't be the only ones who take cognizance of his ideas. I think we should take cognizance of that important idea. I believe that it's crucial at this time that progressive ideas gain some space within the realm of public discourse, because if progressive ideas don't gain some space, reactionary ideas are going to succeed, and they're going to dominate any discourse that is taking place. It seems to me, and this is where we get to something about politics today, it seems to me that the main thrust of the two documents that we've been discussing is the concept of equality. Yet Ireland today is the most unequal society, and sadly is becoming even more unequal. I mean, earlier we heard Kevin, I think, quoting the Democratic programme of the First Dáil that cherishing the children and nobody should be hungry and nobody should be without shelter, etc. And I mean, last year, Bernardo's come out with a survey that showed 1/3 of the children in this country are living below the official poverty level. I mean, that just gives you an indication of where we stand today. I believe that, in one regard, it's simple to deal with these issues if politicians and governments have the will to do it. The task of government is simple. The government should really see itself as an agent for the redistribution of wealth in society. That is really the role of government, I think. Not to ensure that the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, but to see that there is a fair redistribution of wealth in society. This can be done, of course, in many ways. An obvious way is the establishment of a fair taxation system, which we've never had in this country. And the present government's notion of a fair taxation system at the moment seems to be to get all the ordinary taxpayers to pay for the damage done by lots of people who've never paid any tax. But that's another day's work.